And now here are Abbott and Costello with the final word.
Folks, the contest we are running on our Saturday morning Abbott and Costello Kids Show now has a jackpot of over $29,000.
Get in on this contest, folks. We believe it is the biggest contest ever, and for the greatest cause.
The purpose is to combat juvenile delinquency.
And by entering, you can win a $5,000 mink coat, a $5,000 airplane, a $3,000 trailer, a live baby elephant, thousands of dollars worth of diamonds, and loads of other big prizes, totaling over $29,000.
Listen Saturday morning over most of these stations. Good night, folks.
Good night, everybody.
Listen each Wednesday night at this time for another great Abbott and Costello show, produced and transcribed in Hollywood by Charles Vanda and featuring Susan Miller and Matty Malnick's orchestra. This is Michael Roy saying goodbye until this same time next Wednesday. Be sure to stay tuned for the outstanding entertainment which follows throughout the evening on this ABC station.
And that was the Abbott and Costello Show as heard on ABC back on May the 5th, 1948 with their guest star, Bela Lugosi. All right, coming up next is an episode of Information Please. It was originally broadcast on April the 24th, all the way back in 1944. They always had a guest panelist. This time it's Irene Dunn.
Information Please. For the American Armed Forces and their allies, a special rebroadcast featuring the experts. And here to ask the questions is the well-known writer and literary critic, Clifton Fadiman.
Ladies and gentlemen, Information Please continues in its customary wayward and spontaneous manner, presenting tonight John Kieran of the New York Sun and Franklin P. Adams as its veteran experts, and as its guests, our old friend, the music critic, radio star, and composer, Deems Taylor, and the charming screen star, Miss Irene Dunn, currently visible in A Guy Named Joe and soon to appear in The White Cliffs of Dover. We're going to begin with a question that comes from Gene Collins of West Los Angeles, California. Get 2 out of 3 on these, and this is a question involving, well, part of it involves your knowledge of cooking. What element is missing in each of these situations? Suppose you're making pie crusts, and you have the following: flour, salt, baking powder, and water. What's missing? Miss Dunn?
Sugar.
Sugar.
Butter.
What else is there? You have flour, salt, baking powder, and water. Do you need sugar and to make a pie crust,
You need
Mr.
shortening.
Shortening, Mr. Taylor. Very
Yes.
good.
Butter or lard?
But do you need butter?
I'd rather have butter than lard.
But you need one of them.
Oh, yes.
Well, then Miss Dunn's answer is equally correct. isn't it?
Yes.
Well, it's nice for you to share
I
the
was just
glory
helping
between
her out.
you.
Well, what is shortening?
I don't know. What is shortening? Butter or lard?
Well, I
Yes.
thought so.
Is there any?
Yeah.
Can you use anything else for shortening besides butter or lard?
Swift's Caudal Suet.
Crisco. Crisco.
Heavens, remember your sponsor, Adams. Yes, Miss Dunn's answer and Mr. Taylor's, of course, quite right. Now, suppose you're playing in a golf tournament, and you have the following in your bag. You have 9 irons, a putter, a brassy, and a spoon. What's missing? Miss Dunn again.
I don't know whether I quite understood you, but I don't think you mentioned a driver.
I do indeed. Very good.
Oh.
You play golf, Miss Dunn?
A little.
Well, you play well enough to do well on this show.
I broke a man's jaw once with a driver. That's how I happened to know about it.
Did you really?
Yes, he was teaching me how to drive, and he stood at my left.
You broke his jaw?
Uh-huh.
How is he now?
Well, he died 2 years ago, but...
That's a happy ending.
But this was quite a while.
The life you've led, Taylor. You're making an eggnog, Miss Dunn, gentlemen, and you have sugar, water, eggs, rum, cognac, and nutmeg. What are you missing?
Guests.
Mr. Kieran?
Well, you didn't put any cream in there, did you?
Cream or...
Milk.
Milk, yes. I think it's more patriotic to say milk, Mr. Kieran. Yes,
Well, we're
cream-
going to get anyhow.
Yes. Cream or milk, that's quite right. Well, that gives us 3 out of 3. Now, try this one from L.B. Vernon of Viva, Pennsylvania. I think we should get all on this. Who is the him, that's spelled H-I-M, that is referred to in each of these quotations that I shall now read you? It's very rude of him, she said, to come and spoil the fun. Who is the him, Mr. Adams?
It's
Very rude of him.
The walrus.
Now, you're in the right locality, but you got the wrong him, Mr. Kieran.
I think it's the sun, isn't it?
No. I think it's the... yes, it is the sun. That's quite right. I was thinking of the moon. The moon was shining sulkily because she thought the sun had got no business to be there after the day was done. You came a little too late, Mr. Kieran. I'll have to count that wrong. Mr. Adams threw his walrus in too quickly. How about this? Home without him ain't no home to me. Home without him ain't no home to me. Miss Dunn.
Oh, that's from a song in Jerome Kern's Showboat, isn't it?
Very good. And who is the him referred to, Miss Dunn? That's quite right.
My man.
Well, can you be a little more specific? That might be rather vague.
Jim.
Bill.
Bill.
Who?
Bill.
What's his whole name?
Just Bill.
Just Bill? Is it Gaylord Ravenel?
No, I don't think so.
In the song sung by Magnolia? I have it as...
Yes, that's right.
I have it as that.
That's right. Bill is an entirely different song. It was sung by Helen Morgan.
I'm sorry the whole thing came up.
You got the...
It's from Fish Gotta Swim, Birds Gotta Fly. I gotta love one man till I die. I can't help loving that man of mine.
I love to hear you say it, but
right?
still it isn't Bill. I want to get that straight.
No, it's Ravenel.
It is Ravenel, yes. Shall I count it right, Mr. Adams?
No,
I count it wrong. All right. Gallant Adams. How about this? It sounds to him like her mother's voice singing in paradise. Mr. Adams.
That is from The Village Blacksmith by H.W. Longfellow.
That's absolutely right. And who is the hymn referred to? We have to...
The blacksmith.
Hymn referred to is the Village Blacksmith, yes. That's right. Now, that gives us only 1 out of 3. Try this one from Mrs. T.H. McIntosh of Elon College, North Carolina. Can you sing the melody...
Probably.
Can you sing the melody to which a fond farewell is bidden to these following people? A fond farewell is bidden to girls in what melody, in what song? Mr. Kieran.
Goodbye, girls, I'm through, and so on. That's enough.
Yeah, is that the melody, too?
Well, it's supposed to be.
It's a rough sketch.
That's right.
Yeah.
Do you know the song, Miss Dunn?
Da, 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 la, da, da.
Go ahead, Miss Dunn.
Isn't that right?
That's right.
That's right.
I'm done with all flirtation.
You don't have to get any help from Kieran.
There's one to whom I'm true.
Thank you.
Goodbye, girls. Goodbye, boys. With boys, I'm done.
Goodbye, girls.
No girls.
Goodbye, girls. I'm through.
Thank you, Miss Dunn. Miss Dunn, this is the first time I've ever had any real singing on this show. That's why everybody is silent. Now, can you sing the melody to which a farewell is bidden to a table? Someone says good... Miss Dunn, do you know that?
Oh, I know that. That's, from the opera, Manon.
That's right. Mr. Taylor, did you know that?
Yep.
Can you sing it together? Can you sing the melody?
Not very well.
Miss Dunn, can you sing it then? Mr. Kahn will help you out with a few notes.
Petite table.
That's very affecting, Miss Dunn. I do love it.
Why did you change your name from Durbin?
We've got one more fond farewell to get. Someone says or sings a farewell to a street. What street, and can you sing the melody? Oh, this is not a very hard one, really. What street is Mr. Kieran?
Goodbye to Broadway.
Yes, but I've got to hear that lovely voice of yours. Or that voice of yours, anyway.
Give my regards to Broadway.
Mr. Dunn,
Remember me to Herald Square.
Tell all the boys at 42nd Street that I will soon be there. Tell them how I've been yearning to mingle with the old-time throng.
Gave up, did you? What I admire particularly about this trio is the varied tempi in which you sing this song.
Well...
You think you're all right, do you, Taylor?
Well,
the standards are low on this program. Well, that gives us 3 farewells out of 3. Try this one from W. Henry Johnston of Appleton, Wisconsin. How long after breeding would it take for the following animals to be born? From the moment of conception to the time they're born. Let's start with a cow, shall we? Let's get 2 out of 3 on this. How long does it take for a cow to become one?
I guess.
Would you...
I'll make a guess.
Mr. Kieran, yes. Remember that the cows
Yeah.
are listening.
Well, be something less than a year.
Well, now that's a pretty rough guess, something less
Well,
than
I
a year.
mean, it's more than 6 months and something less than a year.
Well, now how about choosing a
Oh, maybe 10 months or so.
or so, eh?
A little more than kin.
I don't know.
A little more than kind and less than kin.
Yeah.
Hey, that's very good, Mr. Taylor. It's about 9 months. I don't know whether...
Well, a cow comes in fresh every year unless she gets sick or something like that.
Well, maybe a highly contented cow might take perhaps an extra month or two. I don't know. How about a kangaroo? How long does it take a kangaroo?
I never knew one.
Too long.
Mr.
That,
Mr. Kieran?
I believe, would be short.
Yes, that's right. How short?
Well, I suppose a couple of months, maybe 3 months or something, because the kangaroo babies are born very small and they really grow up in the marsupial attachment. The pouch.
Yes, that's quite right. But really, it doesn't even take as long as that, John.
For 6 weeks?
It's going to shock you when I tell you how long it takes for a kangaroo to get there. It takes about 40 days. That's
Well, that's
all.
better than white mice.
Yes, and they look prettier, too. They're known as pocket additions when they come up.
Yeah.
How about... Very nice audience. How long does it take a hippopotamus to get born?
Oh, ever so long.
Oh, that's what you'd think that. Mr. Adams, would you like to guess?
Year and a half.
You're just trying to win the hippopotamus vote, Adams, that's all. No, it doesn't take
I
a year
don't
and a
think it does because I think most animals breed within a year.
Yes, most animals do breed within a year, I believe. Guess how long it takes a hippopotamus.
Oh, 7 or 8 months.
That's exactly right, about 7 to 8 months.
Doesn't it take an elephant a much longer time?
An elephant?
2 years.
Yes, 2 years.
That's what I thought.
You're thinking of something else. I don't think it takes them so much longer, actually, to get born.
Just seems longer.
Yeah. I don't know whether you folks got that or not. It seems to me you got that wrong. And now, Miss Dunn and gentlemen, suppose you try this one from Mrs. Laura Seaman of New York City. This is a musical question, a rather interesting one. You're going to hear 3 Ave Marias played on the piano. But they're different. Can you name the composer of each of them? All called Ave Maria. Let's get 2 out of 3, and let's have the first, Mr. Kahn. I have three hands, and Miss Dunn is ceding to Mr. Taylor. Mr. Taylor ceding to Mr. Kieran. Would you all like to yell it at once?
Yes.
Go ahead.
1, 2, 3.
Schubert.
That's right. Schubert's Ave Maria. That was what you said, too, Miss Dunn, wasn't it? I just want to give you 1/3 credit on this.
Yeah.
And now the second Ave Maria, perhaps a little less familiar. That's a tough one. Miss Dunn?
I think it's from Otello.
Oh, that's quite right, Miss Dunn. Very good. Very good. And the composer, Miss Dunn?
Verdi.
Verdi is quite right, yes. I guess that's hardly as familiar as the Schubert one, which is the one we hear from childhood on. Did you recognize that, Mr.
Beautiful.
Taylor?
Yes, I did.
Beautiful.
And well played, too, wouldn't you say that?
Beautifully.
Mr. Kahn,
Yes.
well played, Miss Dunn says.
Very well.
Now let's try the third and last. Good God. Mr. Adams.
Gounod.
That's right.
Not entirely.
No.
Not entirely, Mr. Taylor?
Collaboration.
Collaboration.
Bach wrote the accompaniment and Gounod wrote the tune.
I know, but it took Adams to guess it. That's very good, Mr. Adams. You could have knocked me over with a crowbar. Bach and Gounod, yes. That gives us 3 Ave Marias out of 3. How about this one from Mrs. Kathleen C. Morris of Los Angeles? What honor or distinction did each of these men refuse? Let's get 2 out of 3. Sir Walter Scott refused a great distinction, Mr. Kieran.
Poet Laureateship of England.
That's quite right. Remember when that was, Mr. Kieran?
Oh,
About.
around 1810 or
Yes,
something.
1813. Who became poet laureate instead of him?
I think it was Southey,
It
wasn't
was Southey. Very good. Why did he refuse it? I don't know the answer.
Oh, he didn't want it, and he thought Southey did want it. As a matter of fact, Southey did.
But